everyone. Just hopping on here a couple of minutes early so that I can get myself in the right spot on the right page. If you're here, say hi. I can see all your comments. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. I was trying to do this live a little bit later today, but it didn't work out because I've got family in town, so we had to go live early this morning. I'll try to do it in the afternoon most of the time, I think. All right, I'm in the right spot. Let me get this to where I can see everybody's comments. It doesn't look like anybody's in here with me yet. My name is Shauna Maxwell, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I love creating scrapbook pages, cards, anything for my family and friends. So if you ever need help with anything, let me know. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes just to see if anybody hops in before I get started. This is the card that we're making today. It's the Take to the Sky bundle. And it's a slider card. Probably gonna be one of the easiest slider cards that you guys ever make. It uses the bundle on page 37, or the suite, I should say. Comes with a stamp, the dies, some embellishments. These embellishments are really cool. They look like little rivets. Let's see if I can hold one up. There it goes. And then if you turn it over on the other side, so they're pretty cool. They are large. Not as easy to use as gems. It says 8 millimeters. So, and there's several in a pack, but they are really cool. And I think they're gonna work great with the Trusty Tools stamp. And this is another awesome one for Father's Day. It has this little die and then a whole bunch of tools. So I think that'll be fun to use. We're actually not going to be using the embellishments today because I think they're too big for our card. We're going to be using the iridescent faceted gems, and these are actually on page 43 of the catalog. They're right here. And they have a little indentation. I don't know if you can see those very well. But kind of like a star. They kind of look like a snowflake, or kind of remind me of the head of a screw. So that's what I'm going to use on this card actually for the embellishments. And if you guys ever have any questions throughout the video, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do want to show off. Here's the card that we're making, and it's a slider card. I got this idea from Erica Serwin, and she did the race car and made it slide. And I thought, you know, we have several stamps in the catalog that can move. The hot air balloons, the airplane. So I thought, I'm making a Father's Day airplane card. My husband loves airplanes, so that's what we're going to be making today. And it uses this beautiful paper. When you buy a pack of paper, you get 12 sheets. There are 6 patterns, and they're double-sided. So here's the front side and the back side. The front side, I love those little planes, and the back side. The front side and the back side. The front side, the back side. The front side and the back side. And you get 2 of each of those. So you can have 1 of each side. And then you get 2 of these, and these you can cut out as little labels or little pieces for your card. That's the front, and then that's the back. And the colors on these papers are boho blue, copper clay, mossy meadow, night of navy, and smoky slate. And I used those colors to figure out what to cut my plane. So that's where the mossy meadow and the copper clay come into play. And it says, "You're the best, plain and simple." Again, I love a good pun, so I love this stamp set. Okay, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to need is a piece of 8.5 by 11 boho blue cardstock. And we're going to cut this down at 8 on the long side, on the 11-inch side. And on your Stampin' Up! Trimmer, you actually have a score blade and a cutting blade. So I'm going to make sure I've got the right blade and cut it. And it's already 8.5 this way. So we're going to turn it on the 8.5 side. And we're actually going to move our cutter blade out of the way so that you don't cut it and you score it. And we're going to cut it at almost 4. It's the little mark right underneath the 4. That's your 16th mark. So this is going to be 3 15/16. And then we're going to move it to the 8-inch and score it there. And that's all the scoring that we're going to do. Again, this is a slider card, so it's not your standard A2 size. So we're going to reinforce these score lines. Take our bone folder. And that was the 8-inch. And then we're going to do the 3 15/16. And this is just making a envelope for your white slider piece to move in and out of. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to close this up. We're going to put some tape runner. This is our Terran tape right there. And right here on this fold. This will probably be the easiest slider card you guys ever make, if I haven't already said that. It's kind of a cheater, but I love it because it's easy. And I am all about fast and easy. I have a lot of stuff going on in my life with 3 kids and 2 grandkids, almost 3 grandkids. My oldest is due July 5th, so right at 4th of July. It's a very busy household. In fact, we had a family reunion yesterday that I tried to really make, and I could not get out of some prior obligations, which is my own fault because we knew well aware what date it was on a year ago. So, okay, we're gonna fold that down to where that side sticks down, and then we're gonna take this and fold this down and adhere it all together. And again, that's just gonna make you your little pocket. We're gonna put the seam right here to the back. And then we're going to take some type of circle punch, circle die. This is my old 1 3/4 Stampin' Up! Circle punch, which I will never get rid of. And we're gonna slide it in here and make a little notch, kind of the halfway mark. So try to get that lined up as well as possible. And pop that out. It pops out these 2 pieces right here. Save these. We're going to use those. All right. The next thing we need is a piece of white paper. And I'm trying to find my trimmer. Where'd I put it? This is going to measure almost 8 by 4. So let me move this out of the way. Hey Tabitha, good morning. What are we making? We are making a Father's Day slider card. It works like this. Okay. So this one is going to be cut at 7 7/8, and so you have the 8-inch, and then the one right below it is the 16th mark, and then the one right below it is the 8th mark. So we're gonna go right here. It's kind of right in between the 3/4, the 7 3/4 and the 8. And then this side, your long side, is gonna be 3 7/8. So again, there's your 3 3/4. It's the next biggest. So 2 over and then 2 from the 4. And that's just because really our slider part is the 8 by 4. So we want to make sure that this slides in and out really easily. So we just want it to be a hair smaller than that. So it's gonna slide in and out like this. And we can actually trim a little bit. I forgot about that. When you stick it in there, sometimes it doesn't go all the way in because we taped that side down when we closed it up. So if you want to go ahead and take off another, I would say maybe a 1/4. Let's see how that works. Just so it fits in the card all the way. See, there we go. Perfect. All right. The next thing we're gonna do, let's see, where do I want to go? We're gonna take our designer series paper, the cloud paper, and we're gonna cut a piece to fit on top of this. And we're gonna leave, I would say, a little bit of maybe a 1/4 So 1/8 on each side. So let me grab my cutter out. I always think that I'm done with this cutter and I'm not. So I'm gonna just get out my little measuring tape here, my ruler, and see, it's 4. So I'm gonna go 3 3/4 by, this is 8 long, so 7 3/4. So let's do our long side first. 7 3/4. 7, 7 1/2, 7 3/4. And then it was 3 3/4. Tabitha, did you guys just wake up? Or I know the kids didn't, but I'm hoping we get some sun out there so that you guys can come over and go swimming, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, so we're going to pull this piece out, the white piece, and keep it for over to the side for safekeeping. I'm just going to put this cloud paper in and then take a pencil and draw me a little mark just so I know where that notch is. You probably can't see it on the paper because I didn't draw it very heavy. I'm going to take my hole punch, I don't know, you might be able to see it, and just pull it up and go a little bit higher than that mark. Just try that. So that way, when I lay it down on my paper, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to trim a little bit more off right here and a little bit more off right here, just so that it evens out a little bit, looks a little bit more uniform. So I'm not cutting the whole circle, just a little piece off of that. See, that's about just the side piece so that I can make it a little bit wider. And I'm going to do the same over here. Even that up a little bit. Okay, now let's see. That looks a little bit better. You have to play with it a little bit. Just because I'm too much of a perfectionist. Okay. That'll work. I just want to make sure that there's some boho blue sticking out around there because we've got some around each edge. So I'm going to go ahead and take my adhesive. This is just my ATG gun. And put some adhesive on the back of this. No, I've been up since 5. The baby kept moving. Lily was 7. Should be back to sleeping still. Oh, she went back to sleep, yeah. Maddox got up at 9. Yeah, if that sun doesn't come out, that pool is not going to feel very warm. So we'll have to see how that goes. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and die cut our plane. grab my die cuts. So there's the die cut, and really the plane is really easy to use. It's just this piece and this piece, so it's just 2 pieces, and then I am going, oh, and the propeller, so I guess really 3. And then I'm going to grab these little clouds and cut a few of those. And I'm pretty sure that plane cuts the plane out on the other piece of paper. Let me grab that paper. Oh, maybe doesn't. Nope, I don't think it does. Let's see. Maybe this one does though. Usually they make it to where, no, I guess it doesn't. Nope, I don't see any of those. Huh. Let's try this little bitty one. Usually there for a while, Stampin' Up! Was doing their dies where it cut out some of the paper. I don't see where that matches any of them. Okay, never mind. Glad I got that paper out just to double check. I would have been telling you guys wrong. I would have been lying to you. Okay. Grab my die cut machine. And the way I chose these plain colors is just by going off the back of the paper pack and seeing what colors were in the paper pack. So we already had enough boho blue. I thought, let's go the copper clay and the mossy meadow. So let me get my copper clay. I'm just gonna put that on our machine and run that through. Then I'm gonna take my little tool here and just poke that out. There we go. And then I can punch out these little pieces. So, have that piece. And then let me take the mossy meadow and cut out the plane. Roll that back through. And take my little pokey tool again and just poke that right out. They come out pretty easily. Put those back on my little magnetic sheet so that I don't lose them. I was driving myself crazy a couple days ago with the little clouds. I kept losing the little bitty cloud. And I've already cut out a propeller from when I did my card a couple days ago. I used the Smoky Slate, but it cuts out 2 of them at a time. So you can use 1, 2, 3, 4. You can like make it look like it's spinning. Whatever floats your boat. And then I'm gonna take some Whisper White. cut out a couple of clouds. Just move that over. Run that through again. Put my little clouds on my magnetic sheet, and then run my big cloud through. You can see where when I first get my stamp sets, I do a tester stamp just on some scratch paper. Sometimes you really need to get some ink, especially on the photopolymer stamps. These are red rubber stamps, but I always like to do a testing just to make sure that you don't get any edges. And you can tell, here was my first one, and after I had some ink on it and I stamped it, when I did it again, you get a much better stamp. So if you're ever having a problem with your stamp set looking a little bubbly or little gritty, maybe it's not clean, take a real soft file and rub it on there. Of course, clean it off so that you don't get all the grit from the file. But rough it up, put it on your shirt a couple of times. You just need to get it good and used. And I will have to say, if you've ever bought a old stamp set off of somebody, a retired stamp set, the more well and worn they look, the better they stamp. Okay, so now let's glue our plane together. Let's do that first. I'm just going to be using the green mono multi liquid glue. And I actually, when I get my glue, I put them in these little precision tip bottles because these don't clog, and sometimes those other ones do. And you get a much smaller line. So when I'm using this for small pieces, this is perfect. You can tell on this, when you lay it down, this copper clay, you are going to be able to flip it over and kind of line it up. You'll see that you can put glue on this copper part, and then down here on the wheels, and then a little bit right down here. Some of that does hang off, so you want to be mindful of where you're putting your glue at. So again, a little bit of this glue goes a long way, but it sits on there like that. So you have just this little bitty strip right here and this brown part right here. Don't put the glue on this brown part right here, because that hangs off, and then you're going to have a mess. So I'm going to take my glue and put some right here on the tip. And then right here, put a little thin line. That's probably way too much on my wheels. And then some right here. Using this glue is not my favorite because it does get everywhere. It never fails. And that's why I'm using my silicone mat underneath me. This does dry clear, so go ahead and stick it all down, kind of move that out of the way. But see, yeah, you're gonna get glue on whatever you're gluing on top of, so be careful when you're gluing that together. And then I'm gonna take this and stick this back in my little thing so it doesn't clog. Not my favorite glue to use because I get it everywhere, but for little bits and pieces like that, it's the best glue. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a second. We're gonna bring back over our white piece. We're gonna work on this piece while that's drying. I am going to take this and put it back in my little slider. I'm gonna use this as a guide. So this goes right there. These were the little pieces that we cut off earlier. I'm gonna put some adhesive on that. And then I'm going to take this and line it up with the edge of the card. Just so that it fits in there and I've got it in the right spot. Now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. And if you didn't want to do it this way, you could just, since that was the circle punch that we used, you could punch out another circle and then just fold that circle in half and put it on there. But I figured we've already done the work on this, so you might as well use the pieces, and they fit in there perfectly. So now that we have our two pieces there, take a hole punch. I'm just going to use my Crop-A-Dile. Get it centered. And punch a hole. And this is going to be where we put our ribbon, just so they know to pull it. Okay, so our plane should be good and dry. Like I said, that dries clear. Now I will tell you, you can get these adhesive racers, and you can take that in there and get this off. I know they sell these, gosh, Hobby Lobby, Dollar Tree I think has them. And one is not better than the other. But you can run that across it and get any extra glue if you got the glue on there. Okay. So what makes our slider card easy, easy peasy? We're going to use magnets. So I got these magnets off of Amazon. We're going to need 4 of them, and I mean these things are little. Like there is 5 of them right there. So let me grab. The extras back in there so I don't lose them. Actually, you know what? I take that back. We're going to need 6. Let me grab a couple more. There we go. And these suckers are little, but man, they will hang on. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip our plane over, and I'm going to grab my glue dots. Uh-oh, one of those magnets just split in half. That's no bueno. Let me grab another magnet. I don't want a broken one. Okay. Goodness. We're going to take this little magnet and we're going to take the glue dots and we're going to just stick that on the glue dot and then stick it on our plane. So here's the second one. And the third. The hardest part about this card is getting those magnets off of each other. Okay. And then what we're gonna do, grab another magnet, another glue dot. Ah, that just fell and stuck right on there. I'm going to turn this over where the glue dot is facing up, and I'm going to lay that, well, gosh darn it, I said that, there we go, right on top of that other one. So we've got one with a glue dot on the bottom stuck to the plane, and then we've got a magnet with a glue dot on the top sticking up, and I'll show you why here in a second. Come on. Ugh, I have the glue dot stuck to my finger now. Okay, grab that off my finger now. Grab another glue dot. We'll just do it this way. All right, so we've got our glue dots on top of our magnets. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our white piece of paper and we're gonna put this down, I would say kind of in the middle towards the end over here. So put it down, get it stuck, and then carefully pull off this top layer. So now we have our magnets on this piece and then our magnets on the plane. We're gonna stick this in here. You guys ready? And then we're just going to, and it just plops itself down in the right spot. And now your plane moves. And if you were to pull it out, it just, you know, the magnets just go together, so. And it's real easy just to pull in and out. So that is the Magic, the faux slider card. It is a slider card, but it's much easier than creating a little notch for the slider to fit into. The rest of it is just decorating. Oh, I need to put my propeller on my plane. I forgot to do my propeller. There it is. I'm gonna pop this off real quick because knowing me, if I were to glue that down, I'm gonna have glue all over my cloud paper. So I'm just gonna put just a tad bit glue there. And I'm gonna put my little propeller right there. Let that dry for a second. While that dries, let's work on our ribbon portion. The ribbon that we're going to be using is, if I can get it out of here, the sheer ribbon. It is just a white clear ribbon with some silver on the edges. And the reason why I picked that was I just thought, kind of mimics a cloud. So I'm gonna put this through. Leave myself enough to grab, to make pretty, to cut. You want a good set of scissors. I only use these scissors for my ribbon. That way they stay nice and sharp. Easier to use, and they don't use a lot of, they don't leave a lot of frayed part on the edges of your ribbon when you cut it. So, okay. Next thing I'm gonna do is take some linen thread, maybe. I've had this linen thread forever. I'm sure it doesn't come like this anymore. Cut a little piece of it off. And then I'm gonna take my tweezers here. If you have the embossing set from Stampin' Up, it has a good pair of, I think it's Teflon tweezers. You could use those as well. But these are like backwards tweezers. These are like Cutterbee, I think. But when you push down, they open up. And when you unpush them, then they are closed. So it's great for holding things. Sometimes you need like 4 pairs of hands. Or 2 pairs of hands, I guess. 4 hands altogether. We're just gonna tie that into a little bow. Take your tweezers off. And then just play and have your bow whatever size you want it to be. I think that's good. I'm just gonna go snip, snip. Okay. So the rest of this is really just decorating, which is the fun part. So I'm gonna put my slider back in there. Get that all lined up. That should be good and dry. So I'm gonna stick that back on there. And what I'm gonna do is take some Wink of Stella first. And I'm just gonna use one of my clear blocks. The reason why I do this is sometimes when you use your Wink of Stella, a lot comes out like that. And there's nothing worse than damaging your whole project because you got too much Wink of Stella on there. I am just gonna go in here and just hit some of these clouds and make them glittery. It's a manly card, so I don't want to get it too, you know, too crazy. But you know, glitter never hurts. If it were a girly card, I'd be putting lots of glitter on it. This looks really wet right now, but when it dries, it just gives a real nice glittery effect. So So do however many clouds you want. The reason why I wanted to do a lot of the clouds was you can put your die cut clouds on here, but you can only do so many because with it being a slider card, you don't want it to get in the way of the slider, of the mechanism. So putting this glitter down makes some of these clouds pop and it doesn't get in the way of your slider. Because we want the plane to move. It's the whole point of the card. Okay. Is that enough of them? Maybe. If it were my way, I would do them all, but I think that gives us a good, actually, let me see if I can. Let me move this a little bit and do this right here. I think that one might be dry enough. Okay. See, I'm telling you guys, I could just keep going. I know they say less is more, but you know, not always. We need lots of glitter in our life so that you can make yourself sparkle and shine. That's what Lily would say. The more glitter, the better. Exactly, Tabitha. 4 pairs of hands, 8 hands total. No, what we really need is 7 clones of us. I'm going to wipe my block off so that I don't get the extra glitter anywhere. I need a clone for cleaning because I don't like to clean. I need a clone for work. I don't like going to work. Ugh. I'd rather sit here and play and craft all day. So that's what the real Shauna would be doing. And then everything else, the grocery shopping, running errands, all my clones can do that. That would be even better. I could take a nap with that many clones. Yes. If you guys don't know, my daughter is 9 months into her pregnancy. She has 1 month left. Again, due July 5th. So, and she's got 2 little ones. She's got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old. And they're running her ragged. In that last trimester, I remember, that's all you want to do is sleep. Okay, so I'm going to take my little clouds here. Get these all in front of me. Oh, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this little, like I said, iridescent faceted gems. Just going to grab a small one. And I'm going to put that right here on the propeller. Just a little bit of a gem. Again, it's a manly card. I have to kind of keep it a little simple. But I'm going to bring these back out. These were the industrial trinkets that come with that suite. And you'll see what I mean. These are much larger in size. So for this card, that doesn't work. But on a normal card, it would. Okay. Now, the clouds, you have to be, like I said, a little mindful of where you're putting these because you don't want them to, like, you can't put a cloud right here and expect that slider to move across it. So I'm gonna put, I think, a big cloud up here, and then a big cloud down here, and then we can pretty much, let's see. And I kind of like these little ones to kind of overlap. It makes them more natural, I think. Let's put one down here. And I know I'm covering up some of the glitter ones, but that's okay because we did several of them. So make sure you get your clouds the right side, turn the right side up so that your die cut edge doesn't catch. Where's my little adhesive eraser? I got some stuff on my cloud. Doesn't want to come off, so I guess maybe what we'll do is we'll tuck that one under instead of over. Okay, now this big one, I'm gonna put the greeting on it, the Happy Father's Day greeting. And in the Take to the Sky set, the bundle, the suite, there are Father's Day sayings, Happiest Father's Day, but it's more of a round one. And that didn't really fit on my cloud. I tried to get it to fit on one of these smaller clouds and it wouldn't work. It was too big. So there's also You Always Lift Me Up, Flying By to Say Hi, You're Plain and Simple, Happy Birthday to My Friend. This is a great masculine set. And if I have to be honest, and I know guys don't like cards as much as women do, but masculine sets are kind of hard to come by. So when there's a good masculine set, I try to get it. So anyway, back to the Happiest Father's Day or Happy Father's Day. Because that other one is small and more of a round and didn't fit on the clouds, I pulled out the Trusty Tools stamp set, and there's a Happy Father's Day right here. And I thought maybe, just maybe, and it barely fits on there, guys. So before we adhere these clouds down, let's take our Boho Blue ink pad. Stamp up our stamp, ink up our stamp. And like I said, it barely fits on there. While we're got our ink out, I'm gonna ink up this the saying inside. What I put inside was, "You're the best, plain and simple." Oops, I just lost all my clouds. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I think I stamped that off camera. Dadgummit. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm going to stick that back in there. Okay. Grab my clouds. Where did I put the one I stamped? There's that one. Okay, let me put these back on here. I can't remember how I had them, but that's okay. Put my plane back on here. I know I had one up here. One like this. And then one down here. And I've lost my little cloud again. I'm telling you, these clouds, they get away from you. I may not be able to find that. That's okay. I'll find it later, I'm sure, when I'm cleaning up my desk. Because it is a mess. Everything's falling on top of each other. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and these ones that are in the background, put some adhesive on it and tuck it down. And like I said, we don't want it getting in the way of our slider part, so that's why that's going flat. And then this one we can put flat. I have never felt more tired in my life, even with the long labor with Lily and the lack of sleep for 30 hours when Maddox was born. Plus, I deep cleaned the house yesterday. Ugh, yuck. Hate cleaning. I need to clean my bathrooms today and I don't want to. Parenthood. Not sure what we ever signed up for. Okay. I'm gonna put this one flat. And then we should be okay to stick. I'm gonna pop this one up. Where are my little dimensionals? Grab my little dimensionals and my pokey tool. That one right there. And again, I don't know what happened to my other one. I think I'll just pop this one up just in case I don't find my other one. I'm gonna pop this one up on a big dimensional. And just put it down here. So I've got 2 popped up and 3 little clouds. And then you just pull your slider. I messed up on the stamping on this one on the inside, so I'll have to redo that part. You can also, just FYI, put, we have some pocket dies, and I just now thought of this, or I would have done it, but you could put a pocket die right here. Put a gift card in that pocket die and then stamp your sentiment on it on top of the pocket. But there's your slider card and it just slides in and out really easily. So quick, easy Father's Day card. And like I said, my husband loves planes, so he will love this Father's Day card. But that is it for today. Yeah, you can't tell I cleaned the kids' room at all, of course. No, never. It doesn't take them 5 minutes to get in there and undo everything that it took you an hour to do. That is why, Tabitha, I don't know if you'll remember this when you guys were young, but in the evenings, we would, of course, do our homework when you guys came home from school. We'd do dinner, and then we would clean up our rooms, take baths, do story time, and go to sleep. We would clean up our rooms right before we went to bed. And because, like you said, if I cleaned it, then 2 minutes later, it's just going to be messy again, so. But anywho, there is your slider card. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Ah, there we go. There's the first one I did. So you just want to be mindful of where you're putting your clouds so that your plane does not hit them as they slide. I'll re-stamp that or cover that up or something. I messed that up. That's what I get for stamping off the side of the camera. I wasn't in the screen. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful, fabulous Sunday. We've been on here for an hour, so I knew I wouldn't have a lot of people on here with church. I'm going to start trying to do them later. Like maybe 3 o'clock is really what I would like to do. 2, 3 o'clock, let everybody go to church, go out to eat, do their grocery shopping, get home. So really it's probably going to be 3 o'clock would be the better time. But anyway, thanks for joining me. You guys have a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you next weekend. I'm trying to think for next weekend's live if we want to do the Thoughtful Journey paper pack. I've got a lot of easy, let's see, where's that at? Thoughtful Journey. This right here. This paper pack right here is beautiful. And you can make very easy, simple, fast cards. And this paper is great for sympathy cards, more of your generic thanks, hello. So not really I mean, you could make a birthday card out of it, but we have so many cute stamp sets for birthdays. So it's hard to find paper to me for sympathy cards or hope you're feeling better cards, get well cards. And so when you have just pretty gorgeous paper that speaks for itself, it's easy to use those for those type of cards. So I'm thinking we can either do that next weekend, or I have several kits. Let me grab some of these. Show you guys a kit real quick, because I know I was talking about them a couple weeks ago before we did the roses, the layers of beauty. But here's how our kits come. Let's see. They come in this box. This is the Painted Wishes one. Gorgeous kit. And then they're all together. So they come with your paper, your gems, some trim or ribbon. This is all you need. Sometimes you might need a stamping block, and when you get your first kit, it does come with a block. It comes with a little bitty, let's see if I have one. Well, maybe, oh yeah, here's one. Let me get to it. It's all gross and yucky, sorry. I need to clean it. But it comes with a little bitty block with your first kit. But I have, like I said, Painted Wishes. And then we have, so it's a floral. We have a birthday. These make cute shaker cards. Here's a saying thanks. I love the colors in this one. And then, let's see what this one is. Oh, this is Notes of Cheer. And I love the colors in this one too. I don't know if you can see that. But it's got butterflies. In fact, someone made me a card. Believe Rhonda. It's right here. You make life brighter. Yep, it's Rhonda. So cute. So those are our kits. Here's our, if you've ever thought about Paper Pumpkin, this is our monthly subscription kit. They're $25. And again, they come, you know, everything you need. This is the Memorable Meadows kit. And that paper, I haven't opened this one up. Let me open it up real quick, just so you guys can see. Let me grab. The paper in this kit is gorgeous. It reminds me of the Thoughtful Journey paper. Okay, maybe if I can get into it. Here we go. Okay. So it's got some little gems in here, some little iridescent gems. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some little itty bitty dimensionals, and it has, these right here are glue dots. But look. Beautiful. I'm telling you what, those artists at Stampin' Up!, they are talented. Sometimes the envelopes, yep. Sometimes you can open up these envelopes, cut them up, and use that as paper. You don't, and then just use a regular envelope to mail your cards in. So when you have envelopes like that, don't waste that pretty paper. Here's another card. And I would actually cut this in half and use this as two separate cards. And just put this on maybe some garden green or some boho blue, maybe even some petunia pop to bring out the purple. And this one has, let's see, looks like some tags, a couple of different kinds of tags, and some wood embellishments, some veneer. Now you can color these or you can use them plain. Here's some more tags. That's almost like vellum. That's kind of see-through. I don't know if you guys can tell, but those are see-through. And then comes with this stamp set. It's the little things that matter, having a beautiful birthday, you've been on my mind, heartful thanks. This little flower stamp set. And the instructions. So it looks like this one makes 3 different cards. I missed one of those. Let's see. I showed you, oh, here's the other one. So you have this one and this one. And again, I would cut these in half. You could get a lot of cards out of this kit. But when you open up the instructions, it tells you how to make this card. This is card 1, this is card 2, this is card 3. Step-by-step instructions. So if you're just getting into crafting, this is the way to go. It's easy. And they're beautiful. If you sent somebody a sympathy card, they'd be like, wow. All right, guys. So tell me what you think for next week's live. Do we want to put together a kit, Or do we want to make a whole bunch of cards using that Thoughtful Journeys paper? I might even pull out some of this and just use it as paper. So maybe we can do a combination of both. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll figure out what we can do for next weekend's Facebook Live. All right, guys, we're about 10 minutes over, so I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful, fabulous Sunday, and we'll see you next weekend. Thanks. Bye.